One of the most frequently asked questions I get is, Steph, how did you create this digital nomad lifestyle where sometimes you're working from the farm, like now, sometimes you're traveling in your bus, you're in Adelaide working from the city, you work from anywhere. How did you get from A to B? How did you finish school and then all of a sudden, all these years later, you're a digital nomad? Hi, my name is Steph and welcome to my YouTube channel, which is all about empowering you to be wildly you and live life your way. In this video, I'm going to give you a little snapshot of how I've gone from just scraping through year 12 to running multiple businesses. I've even sold a business and now living this digital nomad lifestyle that I love. And I'm hoping by sharing my story, I can inspire you to also live life your way. By the way, this is my dog, Coco Bella, and she features in a lot of my videos. I have been running my own businesses. I think it's for 12 years now. It's definitely over 10 years. This is how it all began. So year 12, I just scraped through. I did subjects so I could apply for uni if I wanted to. I had no desire to go to university because there was no courses I wanted to do. I had no idea what I wanted to do after year 12. That contributed to me not being the best student because I had nothing to aim for. What I did do after year 12 is I applied to business college to get a certificate 3 in administration. I figured that learning admin skills would be handy to have in any job I ended up doing. Halfway through my course, the business college went broke. So I didn't finish my course. I could have picked it up with another provider and finished the course, but I just didn't feel the desire to. Through word of mouth, I got a job at an insurance company in Adelaide. I started off as a customer service officer there, and then within a couple of years, I was promoted to an accident and health underwriter. I worked there, I don't know how many years, but it was an amazing experience. So I've got a credit card. I was flying into state conferences and stuff. It just felt so wow factor to me. But in the end, I realized I was working for weekends. I was like, I don't want to live like this. I'd get to work on Monday and it would be just a constant countdown for Friday. I got to a stage where I decided enough is enough. I don't want to live like this. So I quit my job and enrolled in a personal training course. I'd always been interested in health and wellness, so I guess that was something I had behind me. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. So I did a personal training course and I had so much resistance from work colleagues, family and friends saying, what are you doing, Steph? You're leaving this senior role at a young age. You could do so well for yourself. Why are you quitting this job? What are you doing? We'll go into this in another YouTube video. But lots of resistance, but I'm quite stubborn, and when I make up my mind, I know it's more of a gut feel. I can't shake these decisions I make sometimes. I just know that I have to do something. And for me, it was this personal training course. So I completed that. I then worked at a Good Life gym in Adelaide for 1 year. And after that year, I moved back to the country because I was seeing a guy that was a farmer back there. And then I started renting a space at a gym in my hometown. In my hometown, there was already 2 gyms. Luckily, one of them was happy for me to rent their space a few days a week or certain hours. They weren't using it. And I built my client base up. From there, I needed more hours. And the person I was renting the space from, she offered for me to buy all of her gym equipment and rent the space, like create a contract where I could keep working there full time. But we couldn't reach an agreement, unfortunately. So all of a sudden, I was out on my own. I was like, whoa, okay, I now need to find a building where I can create a gym. I need to get gym equipment. I've got to set up a space. For me, there was no, oh no, what if I don't find a building? That just wasn't an option. This was, how do I find a building? So I was searching every available rental in town. I eventually found the perfect building, set up my gym, really fast forwarding this, got my gym business up and running. It was awesome. I ended up employing a few personal trainers as well. In that time, I went to Bali and did my yoga teacher training, which went for a full month, full time. It was incredible. So I came back a qualified yoga teacher. I was teaching 10 yoga classes a week at a different venue outside of my gym. And during that time, I could have trainers working in my gym. So my business was really humming. I also become a Zumba instructor. I was teaching Zumba classes. I created all kinds of programs. I had an after school program that I did with the kids. I would travel around and do outdoor fitness sessions at local communities around town. So that business was amazing. It did get to a point though where I felt like I've kind of grown and reached my capacity. I need to spread my wings a bit more. And that's where I decided to move back to Adelaide. And luckily there was someone interested in buying my business, my gym business. They did go ahead and buy it. That made the process for me leaving that business to move back to the big smoke a lot easier because all the equipment was sold, the business was sold. I was good to go. When I moved to Adelaide, I became a health coach. I also went to Sydney and did a raw food chef course. I wanted to be a walking health retreat. So I was like, I can be a personal trainer, health coach, yoga teacher, raw food chef. I can do all the things. This is kind of where the work from anywhere thing started. I wanted to be a walking health retreat. So anywhere I go, I could have all the skills to put on an amazing event. I did start running health and wellness retreats. They were weekend ones. I also started another business called the Goddess Events. That involved me running full moon women's circles every month with the full moon. I would have 16 women come to a venue in Adelaide. They were just divine. I loved that too. I ran full moon circles, I'd say for about a year. And then I also had goddess gatherings within that business umbrella as well, where we did things like a pottery workshop. I had a guest speaker come over from Sydney for an event. We had a crystal workshop. I'm really skipping a few things here, but this is the gist of it. Insurance, customer service officer, underwriter, personal trainer, yoga teacher, Zumba instructor, health coach, raw food chef, health and wellness retreats, the Goddess Events business. I created a school yoga program as well, a 3-week school yoga program that I traveled around to different schools and taught kids yoga, my program. I've always been one to create different offerings. I love bringing new things to life. When I realized it started getting a little bit detrimental, constantly wanting to start new businesses and new products and services, I'd kind of get one up and running really nice, like the Goddess Circles, and then it'd kind of get repetitive and I'd drop it and I'd start something new. So I decided it's time for me to channel that energy into helping other people start their businesses. And so I stepped into that role, and business coaching is still something I offer today, and I absolutely love it because it's so creative. There's a lot of inner work that goes on with it as well, and it's just so rewarding. Absolutely love business coaching. That's where I was at. I was in Adelaide doing business coaching, events, yoga, school yoga. And it reached a point where I was like, I'm such a country girl. I just knew I need to move back to the country. And there was a farmhouse available. A workman had just moved out, not this house, one just down the road. So I decided to move back. I renovated that house within a month or two. Dad's like, Steph, about that house you renovated, we've got a new workman starting in a month, so you're going to have to move out, but you're welcome to renovate the other house, this one I'm in now, which no one had lived in for 16 years. I was like, no worries. But it was actually really fun. I loved the creative process. So I renovated this whole house, moved in here, started teaching classes in town. So I wasn't completely a digital nomad at this stage. I still had weekly classes I was teaching in town. And then the pandemic hit. That's when I had to get everything online. To be honest, I've always resisted online because I don't consider myself to be a very tech savvy person. And the thought of getting my yoga classes online was like, ugh, I don't know about this. I don't know where to start, just overwhelmed. But luckily I have an amazing friend, Brooke. She stepped up and was like, Steph, I will help you get your yoga classes online. So I created an online yoga membership which still runs today. It's now called the Wildly You Yoga Collective. It's got over 100 yoga classes in there, monthly master classes, so much goodness. And that's basically how I've got to where I am today. With the pandemic, I had to get everything online. So I've got my yoga membership. I do my business coaching, which is one-on-one. I've got online products such as yoga bundles and a journal guide ebook that people can buy. And I also run group programs here and there as well, depending on the season and what's happening. So that's how my business got to a stage where everything is online. And then about a year ago, I was chatting to, it was actually one of the shearers that was here on the farm. And he said how he had cycled his bike around the world, his push bike. I was like, wow, that's pretty adventurous. And got chatting. And the next day, I just had this penny drop moment. I was like, Steph, get out and live life. Adventure more. You can't just be on the farm all the time. And I decided I'm going to get a van. I'm going to get a van and I'm going to travel and work from anywhere. And again, when I get an idea in my head, I just can't let it go. I was full time searching for a Toyota coaster bus. I'm 6 foot tall. I decided I wanted a bigger vehicle, a bus instead of a van, so I can stand up and I've got plenty of space. So I eventually, the third bus I looked at was the winner. It was a process. And I got my bus and I just haven't looked back. I feel so at home in my bus. I was really nervous I'd get the bus and then not like it. I feel like, shivers, I've spent all this money and now I don't like the bus. And I absolutely love this digital nomad lifestyle. And I don't think it was until I sold my gym business that I realized I wanted the freedom to be able to work from anywhere. After having my gym business for quite a few years where I had to always be at the one location to train people, I realized it was a little bit of a tie. And even pre the pandemic, I didn't realize I was going to end up being a digital nomad. I was basically just going to work here from the farm and maybe go to Airbnbs every now and then. But then my situation evolved again. Really important message here is follow a feeling. If you feel a desire to live life a different way, if you just have that gut feel or that inner voice that there's something you could be doing or should be doing, trust that feeling, follow that niggle. Like I said, did not expect to end up being a digital nomad, but I've just continued to follow a feeling which has evolved over time to this lifestyle I now live, and I love it. I really hope my channel, what I share here, can inspire you to be wildly you and live life your way. Hey, it's me again, I'm Coco Bella. I forgot to say, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you would like to follow along with my bus adventures, life on the farm, running your own business, being wildly you, and most importantly, living life your way.